Well, it's not how creators in small business think. All the jargon that we talk about here all week is more corporate talk. Creators in small business want results, purely. So brand essence, a human being by nature is brand essence. They're a human. Like, they don't sit in a room and analyze their brand positioning. They're a human being. They make stuff that they want to make, or they think they want to make, or might do something. So, you know, creators don't go to marketing school that way. They don't read How Brands Grow that was written in 1991 and map out their journey. They just do the right shit. Small business is very similar. You know, small businesses, which I spend a lot of time in, we have a whole agency called the Sasha Group that only works with small businesses. They don't care about what we care about here. They don't want an award. They don't want a brand journey. They want their business to grow. There's a whole world, believe it or not, everyone out there, that cares for marketing to do the thing it's supposed to do, which is drive the business. And so they don't even talk in that way, my man.
Yeah, I get that. I think that one of the things that's interesting, just when we think about influencers or creators, you're right, they're all human beings, but people are in the outcomes business. You know, the idea when we talk about democratizing storytelling is about making sure that you're actually shortening that distance between ideation and execution.
But real quick, of course they're in the outcomes business, which is why they don't have meetings to figure out their brand positioning.
Test and learn.
It's honestly, I think test and learn is one of the worst positionings for social media. Let me explain what I mean by that.
Please, drop some knowledge.
The concept of test and learn has made this whole town diminish the value of a social media ad. Because it's a test and learn, it best renders it to be smaller. Individual pieces of social media ads and content sell more product than everything else in the world. Today, in the world, in real life, more stuff will be bought because of social media creative than any other advertising in the world. Yet, this town and this industry will continue to completely diminish and misunderstand that that's the real advertising in lieu of getting excited about a 30-second video that nobody on earth actually consumes. Thank you.
That's a mic drop moment. Get in the build up what you just said.
I apologize. I just need 2 more seconds and then Sue, you can take it all. Today, in real life, in the world, more people will buy more stuff because of creative on social, and it won't even be close. Yet, when we think about social, we think in terms, to your point, and it's in the subconscious now, test and learn. It's all these things that are not as good as the bullcrap in the building. It's 10 times better than the bullcrap in the building to the real world. Over the last decade, companies like this and the other companies they compete with have bought up the beach because they're living in real life while the industry lives in fake life. Of course, there's word of mouth. Word of mouth has sold stuff long before the internet came along. And what social media does is it's created plumbing for word of mouth at scale. So yes, people will naturally discover something because a human being is making a post and they might be selling something else, but the person watching it's like, I like that scarf, and they buy the scarf. That's how the world works. I may see a human being wearing something today that makes me, like, that's just how it works. I would also argue that when you're sold to in social, because we test all media platforms as well, and to Sue's point, all media platforms should always be looked at. We look at everything. We look at outdoor and radio and television and print and social, and we look at it all. I also think that when you happen to be a small business or a creator, you only spend money on things that is black and white ROI positive for your business. But in corporate, we have reports, and we have internal MMMs and MAs, and we have the way that you have to spend to make it work, which I'm empathetic to. That's just the reality of it. And I think in that juxtaposition is the opportunity, because what I can definitely tell you is ungodly amounts of things work when you're sold to on social. You know, sold to is a funny thing. As a matter of fact, in social, you'll have a lot of things look way more like you're being sold to. You have much more QVC and home shopping network DNA in social, and it's quite effective. my argument is the formats of traditional media and the classic brand positioning is making a lot of our brands do vanilla on traditional platforms. A vanilla sentence and a vanilla 30-second video that nobody gives a crap about. I actually think bigger brands on television and other platforms should do more selling because the vanilla cuteness is not effective. And of course if you're on trade or doing other things while you're doing television, it's there. And of course if you spend people are like, Gary, you're wrong. I'm getting sales from TV. I'm like, you're spending $17 million. Of course you're gonna get some sales. Have you ever tried to spend $17 million on Reels? Like, that's what I'm talking about. What's the actual ROI?
I love it, I appreciate you.
But you have to understand, there's an entire world that actually does that. We know that, right? Does everybody know? I know the Meta people know because the combos they have here are very different than the combos they have with small businesses, startups, and creators. 6 years ago, the Austin office was doing different talk than the Palo Alto office because they had different people they were servicing. There are plenty of people that do that. They happen to be the people that then eventually get bought by the biggest brands in an M&A deal. We just have to get our industry to recognize these truths, which is brand is built on social. And this industry is desperately trying to not accept that. And until it does, it will continue to have ankle biters take a market share, and they'll continue to spend $1 billion to M&A a brand doing what they could be doing, but they'd much rather waste money on dumb shit. I know it's a funny answer, but I want everyone to hear this. My historic excitement about Meta and any other platform has really nothing to do with the founder or the wonderful, Shannon's here, I adore her from Meta, but it's not, as much as I like the individual people, which I have a lot of love for, to me, my religion is attention. I'm an early advocate because real human beings see the product. To me, what is so fascinating about modern day advertising is we have a real disconnect between the concept of reach and actual reach. We have a lot of reports and a lot of data and GRPs and impressions and views, but we don't have a really good game about common sense. And when you add common sense to the data, things get a little bit more murky or more exciting. For me, what's exciting about Reels is it's underpriced attention, which is disproportionately my religion. If I think that something is being consumed at a greater pace than the cost of the media for it to be seen and or getting it organically consumed, then I'm excited. Facebook Reels specifically, more than Instagram Reels, more than TikTok even now with where we are today, not 24 months ago, not 36 months ago. Facebook Reels itself is wildly underappreciated because there's an enormity of actual consumption, yet creators and advertisers have not filled that attention to the highest capacity, thus rendering the actual consumption very underpriced. And so I was an early advocate because it's a good product for now. And the reason I bring up for now is not it's doomed today or it's bad. The way the last 15 years of social have played out is very simple. There's underpriced attention. Slowly but surely people figure it out. First it's entrepreneurs and creators. 4 years later, it's this world. And then eventually it gets filled up and then there's enough supply against the demand. Oftentimes, it even flips over time and people don't realize that the attention is moved somewhere else, but even more content is being produced for it. So I'm obsessed with day trading attention, and I think Reels is an underpriced advertising avenue today.